What is going on, everyone? Welcome inside the Nation pregame show presented by Deuce Vodka. Make sure to pick up your Deuce Vodka at all the Sobeys and Safeway liquor stores. We are live from Little Brick Cafe right here in the heart of Edmonton's downtown River Valley. I'm Josh. This is Jay. We got an exciting show for you today. We're going to cover tonight's game against the Sens. We're also going to talk a little bit about the makeup of this Oilers roster right now and maybe what to expect in the future, what to expect maybe at the trade deadline, what to maybe even expect next game in regards to the top six, Jay. There's a lot of moving parts on this team right now. You know, one of our headlines is, you know, how long is 97 and 29 going to last? But we'll get to that in a little bit. First of all, Jay, Oilers, they're 5-0 versus the Sens this year. A weird Sens team that's been pesky for a lot of the other teams in this division. Yeah. What have you seen out of the Oilers against the Sens that just kind of made it so easy for them?
We just get it done. And not necessarily has been easy. There's been some games that have been easy, but the Sens are pesky, and they just hang around, and you know, you just can't give them too many chances because they've got a lot of firepower. So you got to kind of respect that. So, you know, we played them pretty well. Clearly that first goal was, whoa. A little bit concerned. I was excited. The only thing I was excited about that first goal is I got to live bet the Oilers to win and get a better odds. That was the only good thing about that. But just you saw it go in, and you're like, here we go.
Yeah,
it's happening again. And then Mikko looks lost and upset. He called it a nightmare goal, and it was brutal. But you know what? He hung in there. Defense played good. Forwards created opportunities, won the game, and we just seemed to just show up against the Sens.
You like the answer from Mikko, because obviously giving up that goal, the Dadonov in the first minute and a half there is far from ideal, especially because, you know, we've been haunted in Oilers past, you know, when we had Cam Talbot, and it felt like a lot of the time when we would lose big games like that, it was because we would let in that goal in the first minute.
First shot goals. It's apparently the Oilers brand, and we really got to shake that.
Yes. Okay, lots to talk about. Robert King says hopefully another big win tonight for the boys. Chris Benos is already coming in hot with his Eric Stahl trade rumors. We'll get to that in a bit, Chris. Don't worry. James Lee says, please tell me Archie and Boosh are back in tonight. Unfortunately, I would like to tell you they are not. Why don't we jump into it right now? Oilers lines, Draisaitl, McDavid, Yamamoto. That nuclear line on the first unit is going to stay intact. Puljujarvi, Ennis, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins on the second line. Kara is going to go with Shore and Patrick Russell drawing into tonight's game. And then Haas is going to center Neal and Chason. Jay, we know what we're going to get out of the first line, night in and night out with that unit. Mm-hmm. What'd you think about that second line with Nuge?
You know what? It wasn't bad. You know, they had some flashes there, so it'll be interesting to see how that kind of continues on. I thought Puljujarvi played fine. You know, Nuge is Nuge, and Ennis, he just fits in, and he's a competitor, and he's got skills. So, you know, it's that line's in early days. It's probably not going to be here for a long time, but you know, I would assume maybe they take a step in their performance tonight. But I'm not offended by it. Like, they played well enough that I felt good about them.
Bryce Lynch says Oilers are coming out hot tonight, boys. Better. Taylor Sims says, are the Sens better than the Decade of Darkness Oilers? LOL, Jay.
Well, so here's the thing. That's a great question because, and I think the answer is yes, because they're losing games like we did in the Decade of Darkness, but there's just you can just see that there is the future is bright, and we always thought the future was bright, but we were just losing games but we were losing them quite convincingly.
Yeah.
This team is always competing, and they're beating the upper echelon teams with some frequency. So Ottawa's scary, and that's why we got to respect them, because they've got firepower.
Well, you know, during that Decade of Darkness, we always had, you know, the Jordan Eberles and the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and the Taylor Halls that we were trying to, you know, invoke some emotion and some excitement behind. And now with this Sens team, you know, they got Brady Tkachuk, they got Drake Batherson, Josh Norris, Tim Stützle, who's looking like he's going to form into an NHL superstar.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think with this Sens team, not to give them too much credit because this is an Oilers show, but they're just a fun team to watch right now. So.
Yeah, they're exciting. Props to them. They're losing in more entertaining ways, and it doesn't affect you know, like how the Decade of Darkness kind of affected and darkened our souls.
Yeah.
It's not as bad there in Ottawa to watch that team.
Before we jump into the defensive pairings, Che, we got to give a shout out to the Bakersfield Condors. We got a little question coming in here from Dylan Moore. Thoughts on Bakersfield's run? So I just feel like we got to acknowledge what they're doing down south in Bakersfield right now. We've seen Tyler Benson.
Tyler Benson.
Tyler Benson. I just had a total brain fart there. Yeah. Tyler Benson. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists in his last 2 games or something absurd like that. Cooper Marody had a hat trick the other day. There's a lot of people that are saying, when will maybe Cooper Marody get a look at coming up to the big club? And Bakersfield, they're getting it done down south. We like to see it. Okay.
The cupboards are deep.
Let's talk about the defense pairings. Nurse and Barry are going to stay together. Legason is drawing back in the lineup tonight. He's going to go with Larson, Bear, and Russell, meaning our guy Caleb Jones is coming out. And we heard about an hour ago Evan Bouchard getting assigned to the taxi squad. Jay.
I want to see Bouchard playing, and I really kind of want to understand the rationale of why he's not. But maybe because there's still some defensive deficiencies to his game, and right now, we're not necessarily. We've been winning our last few games. We're not necessarily playing our best, so maybe Tip wants to just really focus on defense right now. And these are some important wins to really have this kind of month shape up. March is going to be a difficult month. It's coming out kind of light. Well, actually, we started horrifically with that series that I completely forgot about against the Leafs. But we've got some games here. We've got to accumulate some wins because we're going back through the gauntlet at the end of the month. So, I want to see him in there, but if we're concerned about defense and we're going to try and win these games by tightening things up. Because maybe we're not firing on all cylinders on offense yet, like we were before the Leaf series, then sure, I get it. But I miss you, Dad.
I'm going to put this question up to the viewers. I'm going to put this up to you as well, Jay. We got James Mitchell saying, Boosh needs to play. Lots of pucks on net, creates chances. We need that. I got a question for you. If this was a non-COVID season, and there were no travel restrictions and there weren't those rules with quarantine and stuff, would you agree that maybe in this scenario, Bouchard being with the Bakersfield Condors would kind of be the situation we'd see ourselves in?
Oh, it's way better for him. You got to get him playing, right? He's learning his pro game, so you can't play him enough. And yeah, COVID's kind of creating an interesting situation right now.
And you feel like in a series when you're playing against the worst team in your division, you'd like to see him get in, maybe just for at least one of the games. You'd think, maybe next game.
But this is also a respect nod to the Sens. They come to play. You got to still show up to beat the Sens. So, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about 97 and 29 playing on that top line. We saw Draisaitl getting off to Schneid. Finally, it would have been 8 games in a row without a goal for him. He gets a good one. Beautiful pass by Kyle Turris. Unfortunately, Turris not going to be in the lineup tonight. Placed on the NHL COVID protocol list. How long do you expect this to stay? McDavid and Draisaitl with Yamamoto.
Yeah, it's as amazing as it is. And talk about what about that backhand sauce from
ridiculous,
from behind our goal line to a streaking Connor on the far side of the boards at the blue line? Wow. Anyways. Those two could just play with their eyes. They got that cerebral connection like the Sedin brothers had, where they just find each other and make the craziest things happen. But we know it's not here forever. But so enjoy it while it lasts, because it's exciting and beautiful to see, and great for Yamo to get a heightened opportunity. I know I told everyone to bet Yamo last game over 1.5 points. I wasn't wrong. Leon just missed that empty net
that was tough.
That 999 times out of 1,000 he makes. So that one stung, Leon. I know, and I know all you puck line bettors are pissed off too with that.
Yeah, that him missing that net lost a lot of people some money.
That stung, and that's okay. So enjoy it while it lasts, because we need to have a good 1-2 punch. Cassian, now we can actually provide some kind of update on Cassian. There's been a sighting. He's practicing. He could be back in the lineup as early as this weekend.
Yeah.
If he can find his game and return to some former form of himself there, like he was last season, that's a guy you can be pushing to go on the first line.
Yep.
And so it creates more options. And then also, where's my boy Dominic Cahoon?
Yeah, another health bomb for him.
That's interesting. So I don't, obviously we never know what's going behind the scenes. They keep things close to the chest, but that's a guy I'm shocked that's not in the lineup tonight to push and play on that third line at a minimum. He plays with effort, plays hard. He's got offensive upside. So there might be something there we're not seeing. Also, fun fact, I met him at the dog park yesterday. I'm just meeting all the others at the dog park. I was going to bet on him to score tonight, but Tippett does not want me to win some money, so that's not going to happen.
I said this to you before we started the show. If this was a heavier Sens team, if we were playing maybe the Flames or, I don't know, even a heavier group where you expected to have a little more grit in this game, having Patrick Russell on that third line, it would be like, okay, he's a bit more of a fiercer player and not necessarily as skilled as Dominic Cahoon, but you're playing the Sens. I personally don't really understand what Patrick Russell brings that Dominic Cahoon wouldn't, and especially if you want Dominic Cahoon to be a part of this every night lineup when you're getting down into the latter part of the season, I do not understand why Patrick Russell would play over Dominic Cahoon. But obviously, like you mentioned, there's got to be something going on behind the scenes, and we're not trying to stir up a rumor that there's going to be a trade or he's injured or anything. It's just sometimes coaches just get a guy that they like to run with. And
maybe he's banged up and we don't know about it.
Yeah, and obviously Dave Tippett likes Patrick Russell.
Oh, loves Patrick Russell. Well, you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get a solid effort, and the guy's going to finish all his checks.
Not a goal, though. Can Bouchard please get into the lineup? Why would Tip ever choose Larson over him as Wild? I would probably flip that and say, why wouldn't Bouchard get in the lineup over Chris Russell? Because Adam Larson's playing probably some of the best hockey we've seen.
He's found his defensive game. Yeah, he's been playing a lot better for us.
When we're not, this is one of your favorite things to say. If we're not talking about Adam Larson on a night in, night out basis, he's doing his job. Because he's never going to have that offensive flash. That's just not his game. But if we're not talking about him, he's doing his job.
Yeah, because we're normally noticing him for his gaffes. So the fact that we're not talking about gaffes is a big thing, and it's contributing to, the low goals against that we've been seeing here as of late.
All right, let's jump into it. Our Deuce Vodka player modes. You got one ready to go?
I'm bouncing around with a couple, so you go first.
No, you go first.
No,
I'm bouncing around with some.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first.
I normally always go first.
I would like William Legason drawing back into the lineup tonight.
I'm excited.
A little bit banged up. Hasn't been in the lineup in a while. I want Willie Legason to just enter Willie Legason mode. I just want him to bring to the table what he brought at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
He had a great start to the season when he started getting in the lineup. We saw flashes from him that was making us kind of feel like, Willie Legason, he's a bit of an older, I don't want to say an older prospect, but he's a little bit more matured past Caleb Jones, Ethan Bear, a little bit more elder than those guys. And if we can start having Willie Legason as being every night guy on this team, we'll friggin' take it.
That's found money. So yeah, I like Legason. Like I said, he's been and big boy. We got the Swedish connection. Yep. Larson Love. He's missing his Swedish wingman. He's missing Clefbaum. So Legason can come and fill that role.
James Lee says Larson is nasty, mean, and hard to play against. We got about 500 people asking about Jake DeBrusk. We'll get to that. Nils says, I swear, if they trade Cahoon, I will fly the 7,000 kilometers over to Canada and I'll have a word with Tip. Nils,
I respect
that's your guy.
That's your guy. That's defending your countryman. I respect the hell out of that.
Go ahead.
So my Deuce player, my Deuce Vodka player mode. We might need to change the. I know we always fumble us. Anyways, Deuce Vodka is legit. Check out Spanky Eggs, Brad Stepanko's. I'm going to drop the mic. I'm a hand talker. I'm sorry. Very passionate. Check out his social media, his Twitter, Spanky Egg. He created a shot where you drop the neon Deuce Vodka into a pint of Nation beer and drink that. It got so many views and so much attention.
The Neon Leon.
It's called Neon Leon. Brett Kissel himself noticed it and shouted him out. I believe he's going to be sending him a bottle of Deuce Vodka. So our boss, Brett Kissel, good guy, saw that.
Love him.
Create content. Try it out. Share it, create something.
Brad's here actually. He said, that's me. That
is you. And Brett's going to notice.
Yep.
Brett's noticing. Brett's probably watching right now. Hi, boss.
A Neon Nation bomb.
Anyways,
go ahead.
Sorry. Maybe that's what we should call it. What I just said. I should spend 3 minutes titling what the segment is. There it is.
What?
Oh, you want me to repeat what I just said?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't remember. It was like 400 words. I'm not going to remember it verbatim.
No. Oh, wait. I thought you said like you were going to rename the show.
No.
Like rename like the segment.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, that whole...
Yeah, that whole spiel is the title.
Was the
yes,
okay,
exactly.
Go ahead.
Anyways, we got there. So my Deuce Vodka player mode is I would like Jesse Puljujärvi, Pool Party to enter booty RV rum shaker mode.
Nice.
Sorry, rump shaker mode.
Nice.
And keep doing those reverse ass hits and blowing guys up like he did last game. Love it. And keep smiling, because I think he's going to score tonight. And I think, him being physical gets him into the game. So he goes into booty RV rump shaker mode. I think that's going to lead to him getting a goal tonight.
We love Pugliarvi. I don't know if you saw it.
It's not hard not to love that guy.
An hour and a half ago, Wanye tweeted out on the Oilers Nation Twitter, if you're not following us, follow us on Twitter, that he actually saw Pugliarvi walking his dog on just a casual game day.
That's Hot Dog's best friend right there, Yaffa.
Business is casual. Business as usual for Pugliarvi.
He's happy, yeah, exactly. He's comfortable. It's great.
All right, we've had a lot of people already ask us about this on Facebook at least, and now we want to engage in a slight dialogue. Feel free to chime in. Feel free to chime in with your proposals, your ideas, your concerns.
Full disclosure,
about this.
my back is sore. I got out of the Nation truck this morning and stepped on ice and slipped.
Did you fall? Like right
No,
off the bat?
almost. I kept it together and I jarred my back, and my back is tight. Oh, so I'm normally fidgety on these things, but whew, that's a Northern Alberta Canadian problem there.
You're meeting our senior quota for the show.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Senior, junior. All right. The question or the headline is, DeBrusk is taking over Edmonton.
Oof.
Oh, Twitter's been on fire the last 2 days. What do you...
You're the fire starter.
I actually did slightly start the fire.
He's been stoking the flames.
They've been
this.
talking about this on the radio. They've been talking about this on, I heard it on the Gregor show. I heard it on the Nielsen show. I don't want to completely credit myself, but I said 2 days ago, or yesterday morning, when they said that Boston is scratching Jake DeBrusk, what did I say on our team meeting?
Well, you still have to start the movement.
I said I'm starting the movement.
Yeah.
Jake DeBrusk to Edmonton. I made that Photoshop of Jake DeBrusk's head with an Oilers jersey. I thought it looked legit. I thought it looked real, and he looked great in the orange and blue. Jay, is it time for Edmonton to take a run at a top six forward by the name of Jake DeBrusk?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just need to know what we're giving up. And I'm hearing some rumblings about Ethan Bear and trying to swap 74s. I don't know if that is the right solution because, we have an embarrassment of riches on D right now, and we should leverage that. But we gotta protect our right-hand D because those are the ones that are tough to find. Remember, 2 years ago we were screaming for right-hand shot D, and now we've got them. So we got to protect those. And Ethan Bear has got a bright future in front of him. So I'd be a little bit. I'm not feeling that trade, but if there's another one there, maybe a Caleb Jones packaged up with something else, maybe I could be fine with that. But for me, I would love to see Jake DeBrusk as an Oiler. There's a good story there. Louis will make sure he plays his best hockey in Edmonton. Louis will see to that. He's on our side. Remember that. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of good dynamic and energy. All that good stuff he does with Sports Central, donating equipment every year there. So he has planted some roots here, and he could be a very fantastic Edmonton Oiler. But we just got to get it for the right trade.
It almost feels like it would be. I get so excited in situations like this because it almost feels like it's so obvious that it won't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This almost seems like too good of a fit that it won't end up transpiring because, I look at Jake DeBrusk and I say, okay, I've been saying this. There's one gap in that top six that's not being filled, and it's on the left side because we just simply don't have a guy to fill in there. Jesse Pugliarvi has come in. The reemergence of his game has been absolutely unbelievable. Mm-hmm. I like Tyler Ennis. He's a skilled player. Doesn't belong in the top six on an NHL team. At least on this team.
And if he's on your third line, that's a good thing, right? So, like we talk about. So if that pushes that, and DeBrusk has got the ability to play with that. Once again, he's got enough skill. McDavid doesn't have to play with all of our best players because he's Connor McDavid. You'd like him to, or you can give him instead of an A player, you can get him a B or B plus player.
Yeah.
And put him on a line with Jake DeBrusk. Well, that then pushes.
Jake DeBrusk he's an A player in my opinion.
Well, okay.
He had 27 goals in his second year in the league.
That's fair, but what's Connor if we're using
Connor's nuclear.
Well, if we're using the grade, so I'm trying to be. I'm trying to respect the grading system.
I would argue that how much of a separation would you say there is between Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Jake DeBrusk? Where's the separation there?
Well, so what Jake DeBrusk would allow us to, wow, I am having a tough day with this.
He's excited. This
is a passionate subject. If you could put him on the first line, that means the dry line can be locked in, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the flexibility by bringing him to the team, puts him on, and gives him a great opportunity.
If he plays on the second line,
that's still a good thing.
Then Draisaitl and McDavid are playing together.
Yeah.
Or Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins are playing together, or McDavid and DeBrusk. There's just so much opportunity to just inject one more skilled player in that lineup.
Like, imagine Cassian can find his game to some degree, and you've got DeBrusk, McDavid, and Cassian.
But that wouldn't work then, because who's coming out of the top six? Yamamoto or Puljujärvi?
Probably be Puljujärvi. Now our third line's getting even better.
And
then we bring in Eric Stahl, and you got Ennis, Stahl, Puljujärvi as your third line.
I was going to say, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins centers the third line.
But then you're breaking up the dry line.
We're playing our 3C, $7 million. Jesse Puljujärvi's never coming out of the top six.
We have three offensive lines.
Yeah, but Cassian is not taking Puljujärvi's spot on the top line.
Well, but
Cassian's either the third line, fourth line.
But just think about this. Like, if Puljujärvi's earned his spot, like this is not a knock against Puljujärvi, but if Cassian can get back his game, the physicality, because Jake DeBrusk is also Louis' son.
Yes.
Right? So he understands all elements of the game. Now there's two physical threats with offensive upside and Connor McDavid on a line. You want to talk about opening up space?
Okay, so if you say Zach Cassian finds his game again, what's your idea of Zach Cassian finding his game? Maybe having 12 to 15 goals in a season?
But that's fine.
Yeah, but look at the upside of Jesse Puljujärvi on that line, the potential. You know what I mean? I think in a full 82-game season, is it out of the norm to say that Jesse Puljujärvi could have 23 goals?
It's definitely not out. It's definitely not out of the equation.
Okay, let's jump to some comments here. Dylan says, "It feels good, boys. Please do it, Holland." Chris says, "Cassian and Jones for DeBrusk." Excuse me. Might have to throw in a pick. Nil says,
B's like tough hockey.
Jones, Sam Marukov, and a pick. If Bear ever shot, that would make sense, but he doesn't, so send him away. That's Tyler Cohen. Wait for DeBrusk to sign when he's available in the offseason. Dylan says, long-term, Bear does not fit. I hate to see it, but I'd like to see DeBrusk more. It's a mixed opinion on this right now.
It really is.
It's people. I would say, honestly.
Would you have said that last year about Bear?
Spank is saying, Brad, are you saying DeBrusk for Nuge if Nuge will not sign?
He is saying that. Thank you.
I didn't say that.
Yes.
When did I say that?
Everyone
Nuge
heard.
Nuge is going to sign.
Everyone heard that backhanded diss to Nuge.
Nuge will sign. Dylan says Nuge, Puljujärvi, third line. Man, there's so many comments coming in here. Okay, I'll say my opinion on this.
You don't like?
I like Ethan
RNH.
Bear.
Okay.
I like RNH. RNH, I hope he signs.
But he doesn't love him, see?
I like RNH on the second line at $6 million a year. Will we get him for $6 million a year? I don't know. I'll say this. If the Boston Bruins came to me tomorrow and said, we'll trade you Jake DeBrusk for Ethan Bear, I would do it. I know right-handed defensemen aren't that expendable, especially on this team.
And it's not like we have others coming up.
Yes.
That's the thing.
I would way rather get rid of a lefty. If they came tomorrow and said Caleb Jones, Tyler Benson for Jake DeBrusk, I'd say go for it. But I feel like if we wanted to trade any of the Oilers defensemen on this back end that are the young rookies, there's going to be at least a handful of people that are going to have an issue with it. You know what I mean? Whether it's Evan Bouchard, Ethan Bear, Caleb Jones, Willie Legason, Philip Broberg. I just rattled off 5 up-and-coming stud defensemen that we have in our system. And then you're telling me we couldn't flip one of those for Jake DeBrusk? You know what I mean?
I'm saying you could.
I'd be more than willing to flip Caleb Jones. Ethan Bear, yeah, I'd be a little bit more hesitant because he is a righty. I don't love it. I don't love flipping Ethan Bear. I don't like it. But Jake DeBrusk
I got your back.
Jake DeBrusk is a top 6 forward, is he not?
On the Oilers, yes.
Yes.
And he's going to play with one of Dry or McDavid, so he's going to be set up for success.
I'll put a caveat on this, Jay.
Yes, please do.
Let's say this. Tyson Barrie and Ken Holland, for some whack reason, decide to come to a contract agreement in the middle of this season, and right now, I checked Twitter, Tyson Barrie has signed an extension with the Oilers, 4 years, $4 million. Would you trade Ethan Bear? Tyson Barrie is here long term. We got Tyson Barrie, which I know there's also a mixed bag of opinions on him. There's some people that say he's awesome. Some people don't even think he should be in the lineup. Tyson Barrie, 4 years, $4 million this season. Would you trade Ethan Bear? Let us know what you guys would do.
Oh, I gotta really process that one. I'm not willing to give an answer because I don't want to be held to account on it because I might just be going knee jerk.
Yeah, because that's a big question mark as well. Because if
you're creating a situation that won't happen, and that's why I'm like trying to process this.
I know, because realistically, Tyson Barrie ain't signing for $4 million.
No, he's going to hunt for money.
He's going to hunt.
He came here to rack up points and try to cash in on us, or he's going to cash in on someone else.
But never downplay what one good season of chemistry can do with a team. You know what I mean? We've seen it before.
That guy.
Yeah. So.
No, and I'm not saying.
Yeah, we're not saying Tyson Barrie is Chris Palmer.
I'm not saying Tyson Barrie is Chris Palmer.
Yeah, Tyson Barrie's a good guy. I don't want. You don't have to give me an answer, but I just think that depending on the Tyson Barrie situation as well, do I really see him re-signing in Edmonton? Likely not. But I think the future of Tyson Barrie could also be an implication on whether or not Ethan Bear is here long term.
Potentially.
Okay, we got a couple of people chiming in. Brad saying we also have Broberg in the system, so Bear might be expendable, but he's a lefty. Broberg's a lefty. It's like
I love Broberg.
I like comparing lefties and righties on the back end. It's like two different positions.
Yeah, may as well be.
Lauren says Barry's not going to stick around. He's going to cost us too much. I think he should mentor Bouch for the rest of the season, and we'll call it from there. Andrew says hard no from me. Bear can be a solid top 4 guy. Barry is a power play specialist. Matthew says keep Barry. If you have to move on, move Barry. Neil says we still have Broberg. Yeah.
Like we're forgetting one thing. Clefbaum could be back next year.
Yes, that's very true.
So that pushes a bunch of lefty out. So we should be trading a lefty.
We should be trading a lefty.
Trading a lefty, the LD.
I don't want to trade Ethan Bear.
Thank you. We got there. He does actually. He hates the Nuge and wants to trade Bear. It's quite evident.
I'm not a Nuge guy. You know, if north of $5 million, I would say let him walk. And I'd say Ethan Bear. If we're gonna send them Ethan Bear, we probably have to throw in a first with it as well to get DeBrusk. Because really, I don't know. I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. I like Ethan Bear. He's had a bad season. He's had a tough season.
I wore my Bear jersey to the pint on Saturday, and it paid off.
Okay. Now, after all that propaganda by me, we know that probably Ethan Bear will likely get a goal, maybe 2 tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what his odds are, but if you can find it.
People will come after me. I like Ethan Bear. I just really, really like Jake DeBrusk. I love his game, and I would love to see him.
It's evident. It's evident. Everyone knows you love him.
You saw my Photoshop. It looked good.
It was good.
Yeah. Okay. There's actually a hockey game also happening tonight. The Oilers versus the Senators.
This is a trade deadline episode that broke out here.
Yeah.
Is there even people still watching? Jeez.
Graham says, awful joke, Josh. Thanks, Graham. Appreciate it. It wasn't that funny, but I like Ethan Bear, people, okay? Don't come at me. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about in regards to tonight's game?
Well, I'm pretty consistent with my messaging against the Sens. So just respect them, play them hard, play them tight, and let's see what this first line of ours can do tonight, and let's just cherish this moment because I don't think it's here forever. So really enjoy the show, and the residual or the derivative, whatever term you want to use, of Yamamoto being paired with them. Bet wisely. Leon will hit the empty net tonight.
Could not have said it any better myself. The most important thing for tonight is just enjoy it. McDavid is playing with Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah,
2 of the best players in the NHL are playing on your Edmonton Oilers team. Wow, how far we've come.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky. Are you betting tonight? Are you back on the wagon?
No. I will not be placing any wagers tonight. I'm still on a break again. I'm on break number 2 for the Edmonton Oilers season. I had my break after the Super Bowl and then got back in the game and got hammered again. So, yes, I will not be placing any wagers tonight, but maybe next game.
Okay.
Maybe next game. Okay. We'll see. Okay. Any last thoughts?
Well, I'll share what I'm picking. I think I've already alluded to it.
We haven't even got to the betting yet.
Yeah, I'll share what I'm picking.
My apologies.
So, Oilers are, if they get scored on first again, I will then bet them to win, but the juice isn't worth the squeeze, really, so I'm just going to have some fun on props. I'm still firmly of the mind that Yamo is going to be over 1.5 points. Hopefully Draisaitl can do what he's supposed to do next time he's set up. And so I'm going Yamo over 1.5. I can't remember what it paid.
420.
Paying 420. That's very rich odds. I love chasing the big whales.
That's a good odd.
That's good. Well, he's on the first line with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, the 2 best players in the NHL. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then also, this one jumped off the page of me. This is me betting with my heart and not with my brain. So I'm not going to bet too much on it, but this is just going to be a fun scratch ticket for tonight. And I'm going to put a couple bucks on, and I love this guy to death. Gaetan Haas to score, plus 650. Why not?
Could happen.
Long shots win races from time to time.
Why not Patrick Russell as well?
Well, he wasn't available on the sports book.
Oh, that's a shame.
But Gaetan Haas was, because Gaetan Haas is the man.
We love Gaetan Haas. Aaron says, McDavid and Draisaitl both getting hat tricks tonight.
That's big, but sure. I'd love to see it.
Luke Smith coming in with a question. Luke says, is the 50-50 for Walter tonight? It is indeed. Indirectly, or I guess directly, yes. Get your 50-50 tickets in support of the Edmonton Oilers Community Foundation. As always, tonight, a lot of the proceeds, I think, are going towards not only the Cross Cancer Society, but also the Edmonton Food Bank. So good. I think the proceeds tonight are going to support both of those causes. Don't quote me on that. Make sure you check first before you purchase a ticket, or quote me on it, if you want. But I'm pretty sure it's the Cross Cancer Society and the Edmonton Food Bank, two amazing causes. There's never been a better night. Well, it's always a good night to buy 50-50. They always.
Oh, tonight will be a special one, though.
They always
life-changing money tonight.
Yeah, life-changing.
We'll pay more than what Gaetan Haas will if he scores tonight. When he scores tonight.
Either win the 50-50 or you may
pile it on Gaetan Haas plus 650.
I wonder what the biggest wager ever put on an Oilers game is. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think anyone's ever put $100,000 on an Oilers game?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm talking to a guy, and I'm trying to coax him to when he does a big bet. On the oil to share his ticket.
Yeah.
I'm trying to coax that.
Is Darren Norell tweeting it out?
Yeah, like he's pretty high level. So shout out, you know who you are.
Are we talking like he's placing wagers in the
5 to 6 figures?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, nuts.
But this is
I'm putting $2 to $3 on Gaetan Haas.
But
tonight.
He does this for a living. Like this is
it's a livelihood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not telling you to go out and put 100 sheets on Gaetan Haas to score. If you did, you'd be a millionaire. And if you do, we'll take some of the credit. We'll take a slight cut. Slight cut.
4/5 commish.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Any last thoughts in regards to money, betting, Eric Stahl, Evan Bouchard, anything?
Well, you know what's fun though is that we get to, we're talking about all this trade stuff and about a playoff run, and that's always the best place to be as an Oilers fan. We can talk about that stuff as opposed to who's going to pick us apart this year, and who's going to fleece us for Jeff Petrie. Those days are behind us, so that's what's exciting. So that's just more of an awareness statement. So it's fun to be an Oilers fan, and I expect a good game from our lads tonight. The Oily Boys, as we like to say.
Them Oily Boys are oily right now. Jay, as
Stay
always,
oily.
It's a pleasure. Hope I didn't fire you up too much about my conversation regarding you.
Well, you know what? It's probably good for content, and I'm glad you didn't tell me any of this before we went on this, so you got my honest reaction.
Yeah, this is an honest reaction.
Oh,
I didn't tell him beforehand that I'm trying to drive Ethan Bear out of Edmonton. I'm not trying to drive Ethan Bear out of Edmonton. Obviously, you think I am, and so does everyone else.
I'm driving Nuge.
That's okay. You know what the funny, Kate, I got to say this. You know what the funniest thing is? Is that, so when I made that Photoshop, do you know what number Jake DeBrusk wears in Boston?
74.
74.
Yeah.
So when I made that Photoshop, obviously I'm going to give him 74. People are coming at me, oh, you're trading Ethan Bear. Why would you give him Bear's number? You're automatically trading him for Bear. I'm like, I literally had to put on my tweet, guys, you literally know Jake DeBrusk wears 74 in Boston. I just thought it was comical. Anyways, enjoy tonight's game. This show, as always, is brought to you by Deuce Vodka. Pick it up, Sobeys, and Safeway. Safeway liquor. Always.
Alberta and Saskatchewan.
It's a pleasure. You guys make this show. We enjoy the conversations that we have each and every Oilers game, Jay. Enjoy it. I can't talk, man. Enjoy it. Enjoy
this
the game.
Talking thing's tough.
Yeah, it's a long show. Enjoy tonight's game. Bet responsibly. We will see you, not you.
Me. I'm in it's going to be a solo show. Make sure you give him a hard time. I will be on the Facebook chat.
Yes.
Slamming him.
Enjoy Friday. Make sure, because I'm going to need you guys to be a part of this, because it's going to be me solo. I need lots of comments, especially from you, Jay, in the Facebook feed. You're coming on Facebook?
We'll see. I might try.
Yeah. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a special guest. So enjoy tonight's game, and we will see you on